In this video podcast today, I am going to expound on the concept of self-sabotage. Self-sabotage basically is you creating obstacles or making choices that impede your own progress. This, of course, does not happen consciously, but rather unconsciously or sometimes subconsciously. That means that most of the time you're not aware of your self-sabotaging behaviors because they are rooted deep down in your unconscious and your subconscious. So, what really causes self sabotage? There's so many reasons for us to sabotage our progress, and I'm going to run through the reasons real quick. Number one, the fear of failure, a low self esteem, perfectionism, comfort zone protection, imposter syndrome, past trauma, lack of self compassion, negative core beliefs, fear of success. This is part one of the self sabotage series. So, the number one will be the fear of failure. When we embark on a journey set to achieve a specific goal, we are often daunted by the possibility of a negative outcome. This is normal for the human brain, as it is important for us humans to map out a specific task and figure out what could lead to a success or failure. A person who has fallen into self-sabotage focuses solely on the possibility of failure. They lack the ability to zoom out and realize that failure is just but an outcome, that in the grand scale of things, success cannot be achieved without failure. This irrational fear places them in a position where giving up feels better than facing the impending disappointment. Number two, a low self-esteem. A poor self-outlook makes you feel undeserving of success. This often plays out unconsciously, where you find someone shies off from situations or opportunities that could bring success or progress due to feeling inferior. I have grown up with a poor self-image, and during my early years, I walked away from opportunities that could have led to success just because I was hyper-critical of myself. And in turn, I thought people would also view me in the same undeserving ways as I did. I have gave up too quickly on my dreams and aspirations due to this poor self-image. Acknowledging this deep-seated inferiority is the first step in conquering self-sabotage. Number four, perfectionism. This one looks kinda counterintuitive, but hear me out. A perfectionist is likely to fall into the cycle of over-analysis and action paralysis. Here again, a hypercritical mindset plays a huge role. And soon you realize that the mechanisms of self-sabotage are interconnected, each playing into the other, forming a system. Comfort zone protection. Sometimes people self-sabotage improving and growth because they need to shield their comfort zone. Change often translates to the loss of the already existent comfort zone. This often stems from an individual's feeling of insecurity and his or her inability to conceive a positive outcome in undertaking a particular responsibility. Change is seen as a threat to the status quo. Number five, and that will be the last one in this part of the self-sabotage series. Imposter syndrome, and this is quite a big one. An imposter is a person who is putting up a facade in order to fit in a particular role. He does that to acquire the benefits that come with that particular position. Individuals with self-sabotaging behaviors often feel like misfits. For one, I will finish this with a story. I completed high school with an A minus, and then I enrolled in med school. Afterwards, I felt like a misfit in med school. This is because everyone that I met in med school seemed to be way smarter than I was. But this was a subconscious feeling. Rather than this being a reality, this was a miscalculation of the actual reality. This is because we have been programmed in society to use the meritocracy that has been set in place by the society to gauge ourselves and to measure ourselves, to compare. Given that many people who go to med school actually get straight A's, I felt like my A minus was actually minor. No pun intended. So I found myself feeling inferior in the face of all this. This resulted in me feeling like an imposter. So a lot has happened between then and now. And everything that has happened between then and now has culminated to me creating this video podcast. Life is a journey, and we humans need to realize that whatever happens, we are worth it. And whatever little progress that we make in life, it's all worth it. Today, love yourself. Be fit for your own self. Do not allow yourself to fall into the need to fit in with everyone else. There's a reason why you have been created to be you, because you are the person that can do the best job being you. Do not waste your life trying to be someone else. Do not sabotage yourself because of a fear of failure. Let go of that need to be perfect, and walk knowing that no matter what happens, your perfection has already been written in the stars, and that you are created perfect by God. You are created unique. You are created just as you are, for a purpose. Self-sabotage is a killer of dreams. Spot it and do not allow it to kill your dreams. Spot that fear of failure and realize that failure is just as much of a part of success as success itself. Failure and success are two sides of the same coin. You have to fail to succeed. You have to have experienced failure to yearn for success. Realize that those who compare themselves among themselves are not wise. Let go of that imposter syndrome. Stop trying to fit in. Stop trying to measure up with everyone else, but rather run your own race and do your best with what you have. To build a good self-esteem means to build confidence. Confidence in itself means being true to yourself. Foster a trustworthy nature within yourselves, not just for people to see, but actually be a truthful person. Be honest with yourself. Do honest things. Be a true person. Let go of perfectionism. Focus on completing what you have ahead rather than doing it perfectly. This video podcast, for an instance, has so many errors, but either way, I am going to upload it because I don't want to focus on perfectionism anymore. Get out of your comfort zone. Stop protecting your comfort zone. Your comfort zone is your greatest enemy. Fight your comfort zone. That marks the completion of my video podcast on self-sabotage. Thank you for listening. May God bless you.